Hello there folks, and welcome to our continuing reflections looking at Max Ehrmann's famous meditation, a prayer, and this is day 3 of these reflections. Let me just read the next section in the prayer, which, I remind you just in case someone's watching this for the first time. It's Max Ehrmann. It's a meditation called A Prayer. You get it online on the internet. Just look it up and you can follow along. But the next section is: spare me from bitterness and from the sharp passions of unguarded moments. May I not forget that poverty and riches are of the Spirit. Though the world know me not, may my thoughts and actions be such as shall keep me friendly with myself. Lift my eyes from the earth and let me not forget the uses of the stars. So I want to take this in 4 bites, 4 sections. First part: spare me from bitterness and from the sharp passions of unguarded moments. And I have a text for us to go alongside our meditations today, our reflections today. It's Colossians 4:2, where Paul says this: devote yourselves to prayer, being watchful and thankful. Devote yourselves to prayer, being watchful and thankful. These 2 things, in a sense, we're going to use as a little map that we place on top of the 4 sections of Max Ehrmann's meditation for today. Watchful and thankful. So for this first section, it's being watchful. Spare me from bitterness and from the sharp passions of unguarded moments. Life, if we use the metaphor of steering a boat, is a wee bit like facing the winds and the currents, combating these to steer in the right direction. And of course, a moment of distraction can mean that we don't realise the boat is going adrift. And life is like that. And that's why being watchful in our time of prayer is so important. And the word here that Max Ehrmann uses is unguarded moments. Now, spare me from bitterness. I'm afraid as we go through life, negative thoughts can take root quite easily. We sometimes don't know that it's happening, but they're little seeds that germinate, and then they start to bear fruit and they spread. I made reference to the illustration of bracken a few weeks ago in the reflections, and how poisonous it is and pernicious, and it spreads. It's very hard to get rid of. And negative thoughts, sinful thoughts, can be a wee bit like that. So we've got to be watchful of that. We've got to remember that when these things happen, being watchful means to nip that in the bud, so that if we get a negative thought, we'll challenge it and change it. That's the way to go, and that's why we need to be watchful. The next section is: may I not forget that poverty and riches are of the Spirit. Now this is the thankful part. It's about reflecting on our blessings, and that's what we should do every day as a discipline. Acknowledge it's good to be alive. Acknowledge the things that we have, not the things that we don't have, but the things that we do enjoy. And even in moments when we're complaining or upset about something, if we reflect on the blessings, then that's a great antidote indeed. And that should be a daily discipline to be able to do that. The next section: though the world know me not, may my thoughts and actions be such as shall keep me friendly with myself. So we're back to being watchful. Who are we when nobody's watching? What a brilliant question that is. Who are we when nobody's watching? Are we not all a wee bit like actors? We play roles, sometimes unconsciously. And of course it depends who we're talking to. If we're parents speaking to children, if we're a neighbour speaking to another neighbour, if we're an employee or an employer, whatever role we're playing, sometimes we wear certain kinds of masks. We adopt a persona that goes with that. Here's a question: who are we when no one's looking? Well, only God knows. And we know. And that's why our actions we have to be watchful of. Our thoughts we have to be watchful of. So that we can, in the words of Max Ehrmann, keep ourselves friendly with ourselves. So watchful again. And finally, lift my eyes from the earth and let me not forget the uses of the stars. What a wonderful, positive way to end that section. It started by being watchful and then thankful and watchful again, and it finishes with being thankful. Let me not forget the uses of the stars. Wonder is all around us. Sometimes we just fail to see it. And like our blessings, cultivating that sense of the blessings that we have, we need to cultivate wonder too. There's a famous song, is it Louis Armstrong? I can't remember the title or indeed all the lyrics, but there's a refrain in it, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. That's what I'm talking about here. Not forgetting the uses of the stars, but looking at them, even in the midst of our trials and tribulations and our down times, and go, wow, and have our spirits lifted. So remember this part of the prayer, but also remember Colossians 4:2. Devote yourselves to prayer, being watchful and thankful. Once again, thank you for watching and listening. God be with you, and I'll see you tomorrow.